Welcome back to Norfolk Perspectives. No, I'm not here to sell that there's fresh fruit and vegetables in downtown, because that's not really what this story is about. But there is a farm market downtown. And I got to start off with Reverend Scott Hennessy. How you doing?
Fine, thank you.
You're the big boss, right?
I'm the rector of St. Paul's, and we've been there over 350 years ministering to the city.
And you're in charge of what goes on in your church, right?
I help them.
You've done a really nice job at dodging that one. You kind of do what you're suggested to do, right?
No.
No? But you're innocently sitting there one day, and somebody comes up to you and says, why don't we do a farm market? Is that how this happened?
I think it was, Diane came up to me and talked about it, and I thought it was a wonderful idea, and I think God's really been working in this because it's really created community downtown. City officials have helped us tremendously, the Downtown Civic League, the Downtown Business Corporations. People have just pitched together to make this happen because it's helping people in Norfolk.
That's cool. And Diane Rafferty is the Diane he's talking about, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Where did this idea come from?
Well, we were sitting, actually Scott's wife and Tricia and myself were sitting in my condo one afternoon talking about things we could do at the church. And Tricia said, heck, I could even see us doing a farm market there one day. And I couldn't get the farm market off my mind. So I came to Scott and we talked about it. And he said, you want to do a yuppie market downtown? And I said, yeah, because then we can make money and bring fresh food into what is truly a food desert in Tidewater Gardens.
Okay, so what better place to go than a successful farm market, right?
That's right.
So did you head on over there?
I placed one phone call. I've been there several times. So I placed a phone call and said, I'm Diane from St. Paul's Church, and we're thinking about doing a farm market. Would you like to talk about it? And quite honestly...
Oh, boy, you didn't know Bev, did you?
Well, I didn't know she was just going to blow me up or what. I really didn't know. But she said, yeah, I'd love to get together and have a cup of coffee, and that was last August.
Okay, let me ask you, Diane, when you kind of had this thought in your head, what were you thinking of as a farm market?
Pretty much what we've got, which is an awesome... Our church is just the most awesome place in the city in downtown Norfolk. It's like an oasis. It's beautiful. And we have parking, and we're right next to the mall. So the location is absolutely perfect for a market. And what I wanted was a market that would, or what we wanted, was a market that would be available for people who could afford, quite frankly, the market experience. Because we need to make money at our market. 100% of the profits flow into Bev's mobile market, which she's taking over to Tidewater Gardens.
And here's the little twist.
Yeah.
That makes this really unique.
Beautiful.
Because Bev Bessell with 5 Point Farm Market, how you doing?
I'm good.
You got this woman gives you a call, and basically,
I get them all the time.
I know it, but she's saying, okay, how far away from the farm market is this farm market?
Probably 1.5 miles, 2 miles, most.
Some retailers out there would say, yeah, that's my selling area. They send them over to my place.
But they're not community, are they? See, we're all about sharing what we have. The more produce we move, the healthier our city gets, and that's what we're out to do. Is we're out to get good food to good people, and there are no limits. So I'm just saying.
Right.
So, just so you know, there are no limits. So I thought this was an excellent idea, and these guys have been awesome to work with. Because we're getting good food to good people, and we're starting to make some differences, and that's really critical and it's important.
Okay, now because I can only eat locally grown, organic. That's all I'm allowed to eat at home. So yeah, that's the way the rules are. It's a little more expensive. You hit it on the head.
Yeah.
It's a little more expensive, but yet why should it be economically driven? Is that kind of the thought you had?
Well, because if you understand how organic is raised and a lot of handwork is done to it, it takes 3 times as much effort to raise something organic as it does conventional to just spray the stuffings out of it. I mean, it's just totally different.
So if I can afford to buy organic, I should buy organic.
Well, you should.
What if I can't afford it?
Well, then you come over to our market.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's kind of
but you know, the other
right?
part of that, and we're going to get into these myths about organic versus local, and what the information that I have received and I know is that the closer you are to your food source, the more nutritional value you get. So even if it has low to no herbicides, pesticides on it, and it's local, and it's been out of the ground a day or two, it's better for you than something's organic that's been flown in from California or China or Mexico or wherever. So
where in the conversation did it come up that that's good stuff and it should be made available to everybody? And maybe this market
really
could do that.
From the onset.
Really?
That was really always the idea behind the market was to bring fresh food. Downtown Norfolk is a food desert. I mean, we're separated by the chasm of St. Paul's, the two communities. But really, downtown Norfolk, I mean, try to go and buy something fresh there, and you can't, except on Saturday morning. From 9 to 12.
There we go. Okay, so but now, because of the produce that you sell and what you get from that, gets turned back into
100% of the profits go into
we call them farm market greens, and they're $5 vouchers. So the residents of Tidewater Gardens come over to our mobile market, which happens to be at St. Mary's. You have to keep up now because
this is cool.
Good. This is good. From 10 to 2 on Saturdays, and they can use their $5 vouchers there to get fruits and vegetables. And it's been really quite an experience to have the little kids and to watch them. They've never seen, some of them have never seen a radish or a yellow squash, and we had some avocados, and we had cut one open to show them the inside, and they were like freaking out because it was like, wow, look at that, that is so cool. They all wanted the seed, but we're making a difference, and that's what we came to do.
Okay, and that's why I'm going to be real frank, because when Diana and I first started talking about this, we were talking about promoting it, and would I have you guys on the show to promote the coming of the farm market, or let's have a couple of weeks behind our belt and talk about it, because it really sounded like a good idea, but yeah, could it work? Scott, did it work?
It's definitely working. It's
awesome,
definitely working. We have medical students from EVMS who are doing nutritional classes over at Tidewater Garden. We have a owner of a food truck, Panavore, who's going to cook some of the produce to show the residents how to cook it. And they'll be able to taste it and enjoy it that way. So people are coming together. It's amazing.
So Diane, is Saturday morning working?
Oh, well, it's just so absolutely cool to see people walking from downtown Norfolk and coming into the church parking lot with strollers and with
their dogs.
With their dogs, and I mean, it's just awesome, even on our side of the street, to see the community that's being developed. But during this whole project, what was really cool was we have an outreach committee at church, and in the beginning we kind of sat with 6 people. Now we've got 5 Points people, we've got EVMS people, we've got St. Mary's people. We've developed community.
So it really is a true collaboration within
Phenomenal, phenomenal.
So what have you seen over at St. Mary's then?
Well, St. Mary's comes and helps us set up, and they help us do some of the crafts. We have arts and crafts.
Then.
Oh, everybody's engaged. You can't be around this and not be engaged. So it's pretty exciting. They've done an awesome job, and of course, then to add to all of that, anything that's left over goes to St. Mary's for their soup kitchens, because they do 4 soup kitchens a week. So everything is upcycled, as we say.
So it's kind of like what Paul was talking about. It really is having a core mission, and that's putting food into a food desert.
Right.
And then looking at how you can make a connection all the way around. It sounds like church work.
It is.
It's really bringing community together.
Oh, it's fabulous. Yeah.
Okay, so this Saturday and every Saturday
Every
of the summer?
Saturday, rain or shine, from 9 to 12. And Bev is
10 to 2 at St. Mary's.
Now,
So we're running two markets at the same time, sort of, kind of.
okay, I have tried to tell you in the past, Bev, it won't work. Did anybody try to tell you it wasn't going to work?
About 1 million times. Yeah.
And should we close by saying
It's working.
it's working?
It's working.
It's working.
But it can only work if you come over to the farm market, either one. They're
And
not competing.
even Church Street.
You could come over to Church Street. It's that's right. Don't forget your core mission, Beth. 5 Point at Church Street. But it's a great way to learn about nutrition, but it's also a great way to have some awesome food. And yes, a beet can be dirty.
Yes.
You wash it off at home before you cook it, right? That was my biggest lesson I had to learn. We want to hear from you what you'd like to see on TV 48, but more importantly, what's going on in your neighborhood. Give us a holler at 664-6510. And as usual, it's a wonderful time to be in Norfolk just because of you, and you. Thank you.